It's the Group Chat Podcast bringing you another mini episode from our One Wire short collection of live broadcasts. Join host Casey Gisclair alongside Damien St. Pierre, Nick Hebert, Tommy Badeaux, and Murda as they break down what everyone's talking about. Don't miss out on the hottest unfiltered opinions that'll have your group chat blowing up.
We are live here. It is the Group Chat Podcast. Hope everybody is enjoying their Wednesday. We got 3 of the 4 here. Nick is vacationing.
It's good to hear Tommy just once.
Yeah, good to have Tommy here in the man cave. Let's thank our sponsors. The office of Tommy J. Badeaux. We thank him so much. We got Performance Automotive and Accessories and
Martin's AC and Electrical, official sponsor of our hot take of the week.
Let's talk about some NFL draft. A lot of people are talking about New Orleans Saints at pick 9. A lot of people are saying that the draft is going to begin when New Orleans picks at pick 9. It looks like Ashton Genty, that was a big question mark. It looks like Jacksonville kind of going to take him at 5 if you believe the sports books. Travis Hunter, number 2. A lot of different things have fallen into place since we've last spoken, including with New Orleans. A lot of people have now downplayed the Saints getting Shador Sanders. A lot of people are saying that New Orleans is not going to take a quarterback at all at number 9, and that they fancy Jackson Dart. And they're going to try to maybe trade up in the second round or back into the first round in the back end of it to try to get Jackson Dart. So I look at this. Jackson Dart is ranked as Mel Kiper's 39th overall player. And the teams that desperately need quarterbacks, Tennessee, the Giants, whatever, they don't want him. So why should New Orleans want this guy so bad? Would you be willing to trade some assets in the future to get Jackson Dart this year?
No, absolutely not. You don't want Jackson Dart high. You don't want Jackson Dart low. This is my Martin's AC and Electrical hot take of the show.
Ooh, we're going to have to get a sound button for that, a noise effect.
The Saints do not pick at 9. The Saints trade.
Up or down?
Down. I think they're out of that. They stack towards the end of the first, early second. They probably grab Jackson Dart, and they tank in hopes to get Arch Manning next year.
2 years in a row quarterback?
Jackson Dart is a temporary Band-Aid. They trade him.
Well, why the hell you pick him in the first round? That'd be my thing. Like, if you want a temporary Band-Aid, get Quinn Ewers.
It's the Saints. That's what they do.
No, you already got the Band-Aid. If you are going to want to tank for Arch, so to speak, you stroll out Rattler there. Yeah. And he does one of two things. He's either good for a 5th-round pick, and the concerns, he's got a cannon. He's got the mobility. His football skill is not in question. It's between the ears, and it's his attitude. So,
well, you had Lane Kiffin as a coach. I mean, how great can your attitude be?
Talking about Jackson Dart? I'm talking about Spencer Rattler.
I'm still on Jackson Dart.
Well, I would love Jackson Dart, but if your goal is to tank, why you're not drafting Dart just to get Manning? Then you're stuck with 3 young quarterbacks and
Hayner.
They're going to be.
I got to tell you,
they're going to be damaged goods.
I think the Rattler era is done.
Well, then good. Let him lose every game next season, and then go get Arch. Now, if you're going to want to draft Dart, you have to draft best player available, probably another tackle.
But you're not guaranteed to get Arch Manning. You have to have some type of temporary stopgap.
But there are better quarterbacks in the draft next year than this year, I believe.
So let me ask you guys this. I saw this name floated out there. Tennessee's taking Cam Ward. Would you guys take Will Levis to be that stopgap? He's going to be available.
To lose games? Absolutely.
If he's cheap?
I'd rather have Jackson Dart than Will Levis.
Would you?
So my ideal thing is if one of those tackles fall, and if it's Campbell, I don't care. But if you feel you've got your bookend tackles, and you highly believe in your boy you had last year in the left, and you want to draft the right, whether it's Mafanu from Missouri, who's highly ranked, who they rumored could slip. So him or Campbell, if they drop to 9, you take them. And then if you want to pull what you did with Mark Ingram and trade back, so let's say Shador has his slide, which is going to be the story of the draft tomorrow, by the way. That's just a little Tarantino right there. Then you trade back into the 20s. And if Shador goes 21, then you jump back into 20s and you take Dart. Because I really think that some NFL teams are dumb when it comes to quarterbacks. There might be 4 that go. Your boy Shuck is probably going to get drafted in the first round too. If you have to trade back up, I don't mind them doing that. Do you take Jackson Dart at 9? Absolutely not.
So FanDuel has changed on this. When we last recorded, FanDuel had Shador Sanders as the betting favorite for New Orleans at 9. He's now no longer even on the list. Mikael Williams is the heavy betting favorite for New Orleans. He's a rush end, plus 260 odds. You were talking offensive tackle a second ago. Would you be okay with the rush in at number 9?
Yeah, Cam Jordan is done. He's toast.
Yes, very much.
Granderson was an undrafted free agent. They found gold, but he had his legal issues, which is why he went undrafted. He's a good player. Is he a franchise cornerstone? No. And I see Warren on that list with you. He's going to be gone. Jets have FOMO over Brock Bowers, and they think this guy's going to turn into Bowers. I don't think Warren's that good, but I think taking him at 7's a reach, and Damien brought up Kyle Brady last night. I guess they're hoping him for lightning in a bottle with that. Mason Graham, isn't he, besides Carter, the best defensive player? Like, if he's there, but
I don't think he's going to be available.
He's sliding.
Either.
I guess you would. If you go either side of the line at 9, I think it's fine. It's the safe play, but somebody posted something the other day. I don't know if it was Underhill or something. Besides Chris Olave, the Saints have gone offensive, defensive line maybe 8 out of the last 10 years. None of them work except for Ramczyk. That's
the crazy part. And somebody was telling me about this the other day. It's like, yeah, the Saints offensive line is ass, but they're all draft picks that were like, that's all first rounders.
I mean, yeah, just go off the top of your head. Davenport, horrible. Turner, bust. Penning, ugh. I mean, they moved him in the guard. Maybe he gets his mean streak and stops freaking holding. That'd be great. Ramczyk, that was a freak thing. His knee just gave out on him, but he was a stud.
He was good.
And that was the last good pick they had on the line. Rankins, pretty terrible until he went somewhere else. Like, they just never seem to pan out. Now, Brzee, he's shown some things, but he's got some injury issues.
You know what that tells me? Probably need some changes in the front office.
What did y'all make of the comments from the anonymous assistant coach who blasts Shador Sanders and says that he was the worst formal interview I've ever been in my life? The anonymous assistant coach said he's so entitled. He takes unnecessary sacks. He never plays on time. He has horrible body language. He blames teammates. But the biggest thing is he's not that good. So my question to you all is this a thing, or is this somebody blowing smoke trying to get everybody else to not like Shador so his team could get Shador in the 20s somewhere?
First off, it's about the hype train with the dad. That's how he was born. That's how he was raised. It's just a 100% hype machine. So obviously, not being that successful in the college level, does that turn into success at the NFL level? I just think that anonymous coach said, I don't think he's that good. The only person that thought he was going to be the first overall, there were 2 people, him and his dad. And he came in with a lot of question marks. Again, that quote is right on. He took way too many sacks, and the guy is a straight-up hype machine, which is why I wanted him to go to New Orleans so we could actually have something to watch that would be entertaining.
Tommy, does this scare you? Do you think that this is maneuvering? Because, look, dude, it's so easy. Like, Damien and I have drafted in biddy drafts before. Like, oh, yeah, don't take that kid. He's not going to help you. Then when you pass over him, we take him.
Absolutely. Oh, it's at 100% smokescreen. I mean, people could have their opinions about Kiper and all that. He's still Kiper's #1 rated quarterback. I guess because of fit or whatever, people are turned off. You're either loving him or you hating him. So yeah. I guess he's the black Johnny Manziel. And I honestly think his career will parallel that. There's no middle game with him. It's either feast or famine. He's either going to flame out or he's going to just be amazing. And so I don't know which one you're going to get. I would sign up for it at 9. I'm in. If you want to take him.
So you would want him at 9?
I'll take him at 9 because I think if you trade back, once that happens and a team that's been linked to him, I mean, obviously they're saying they're not linked to him anymore, but if you see the Saints trade back, there are probably hopes that they're going to get him or somebody's trading up to get him. I would pull the trigger on 9 because he's the guy that you're hoping could be your franchise guy. That's what I'm thinking. Jackson Dart at 9 doesn't make sense to me because he didn't show it enough. Shador, you're hoping that he could lead you to the promised land.
You know where I want my franchise to be relying on is a guy that did not have a winning record in the college game.
They hired Dennis Allen, bro.
Casey, do you think there's a NFL GM that went on another NFL GM's Instagram and took a screenshot of his draft picks and rolled through the draft like that?
I don't know who would do such a thing, but yeah, and maybe
that was some good times.
That was some good times. Yeah.
Sorry, Nick.
I wonder what Shador's Madden rating is going to be.
I don't know. 76.
Is that why the Giants won't draft him at 3? Because of what his NCAA 2025 throw power was?
Well, they say that Will Campbell's arms are too short, even though he was, college All-American. For what it's worth, just to give the other side of the story, NFL analyst Kyle Brandt blasted the coach for saying what he said and said, and I quote, "I see entitlement in a grown professional who is going around anonymously trying to destroy young athletes with very personal quotes anonymously as they're about to realize their dream and become professionals. Do not listen to that quote. That quote is bullcrap. It's news. It's worthy. I hate that quote. Listen to Shador's teammates who kept picking him up over and over as he got the crap kicked out of him last year who don't have a negative thing to say about it." So
Who was that made that quote?
Kyle Brandt, an NFL analyst. So he's on the Shador train.
He's the last remaining member of Good Morning Football. RIP. That show used to be so awesome. So I guess the main question to this is, do you draft him top 10? Ask how many of his teammates went to his birthday party.
None. Zero. I did see that earlier, too, that there are also some people that are worried about that.
So
It's the dad.
So he's Bo Callahan.
It's daddy ball.
Okay.
All right, so let me ask you this. Let's cut the first round in half. 1 through 16. Is Shador off the board tomorrow?
No.
He has to be. Somebody's going to
fall in love with him.
Somebody's got to buy that hype train. NFL's a quarterback-driven league. It always has been, and it always will be. You got to have somebody. Somebody's going to take that chance on him.
There's a lot of rumors that he ain't getting past Pittsburgh at 21. So, Tommy, 17 through 32, will he be available in the second round, or is he going to go in the back end of the first round?
There's no way he slips out the first.
Another layer to this is his fate with Pittsburgh at 21. Is his fate going to decide Aaron Rodgers' fate? Because if Pittsburgh drafts him at 21, they probably wouldn't sign Rodgers, which may send Rodgers into retirement. Will Shador end up deciding whether or not Aaron Rodgers retires?
There's a spot in the NFL for Aaron Rodgers.
Dude, look. Go look at his stats in the last 6 or 7 games. I know that they were meaningless games because the Jets were out of contention. But if we are to believe that maybe he was just beat up at the beginning of the year, rusty from the Achilles or whatever, he was good the second half of the season. Better than Derek Carr.
Wouldn't that be the best situation for Shador? To sit Enigma behind Enigma and squeeze the 1 to 2 more years out of Aaron Rodgers and not force Shador into a Johnny Manziel type situation where he totally flames out of the league?
I think so, but you would have to get Rodgers to agree to help him. Because that was the thing in Green Bay. Rodgers was like, screw Jordan Love, I'm not helping you at all. If he's willing to work with him, then yeah, I agree. But, I mean, look at this, dude. The last 4 or 5 games, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Had a bad game against Buffalo, 0-2. 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. His terrible year was 28 touchdowns and 11 interceptions. That's his bad year. That'd be an all-pro year for Derek Carr.
Did you hear what the Jets did to him during his release? They made him fly into their office just to tell him, hey, bro, you done.
In 10 minutes.
Couldn't you have just told me that over the phone?
I'm sure he was thrilled. Well, I've heard he was thrilled. He gave he was on McAfee talking about, that's a Bush League way to do that, isn't it? Like, just call him and tell him.
As respected as your boy.
I didn't even pay for the flight.
He made him pay for his own flight. Now, he's not hurting for money, but, I mean, come on, dude. There's Zoom now. You can fire him face-to-face over the internet.
You don't treat Aaron Rodgers like that. That's like, didn't Bischoff fire Stone Cold via the mail?
It was a fax. So I listened to Todd McShay's 2-hour rant today, and he has Shador Sanders slipping all the way to the Browns at 33.
Jesus, 33. You go from potentially being the first freaking pick.
That's exactly what Shador Sanders needs is Deshaun Watson.
Right.
I can't grasp the Giants had Tommy Cutlets as their starting quarterback, and you're going to pass on Sanders. That speaks volumes.
Giants have Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston.
Yeah, Jesus, exactly. Even more of a circus.
That would be the third ring of the circus.
Oh, boy. It's going to be interesting tomorrow to see the trades or the maneuvering. Okay, Cam Ward has already supposedly been told he's going number 1. Travis Hunter, number 2?
No, the Browns are going to screw it up.
No.
I think the Browns are going to because they're the Browns, they're going to take Carter and try to do magic bookends with Myles Garrett.
That would put Travis Hunter going to the Giants.
Yep, that's where I think
that would be a decent receiving core there.
Neighbors and,
For what it's worth, and this is FanDuel, this could be completely wrong. They have Cam Ward minus a zillion to be the first pick. He's going to be the first pick. They have Travis Hunter minus 1,350 to be the second pick. So they think he's going to be the second pick. Third overall pick, they have Abdul Carter minus 750 to be the third pick. So they think he'll be the third pick.
So that's that's a weird spot too, because if you remember, they just drafted your boy Thibodeau 3 years ago, Kayvon Thibodeau.
Yeah.
And they just made a massive trade and re-signed Brian Burns last year. So they're going to bring another defensive end cornerstone. What are they doing
Giants, there, dude? You think they know what they're doing?
Also, the Browns.
Yeah,
and that's why
there's a reason why they're 2 and 3.
Now, number 4. Who is number 4?
Patriots.
Patriots. They got Will Campbell here, minus 550. So that's pretty stiff odds.
They need some Drake May. Please send help.
This is the one that has changed a lot in the last 48 hours. It was very heavy. Ashton Genty, number 6 overall. The odds were stacked up. In the last 48 or so hours, that has changed. It's now Ashton Genty, who's the favorite to go number 5 to Jacksonville. So it looks like Las Vegas, barring making some sort of a move, might not get their guy. And it looks like it's the Jaguars who are trying to get Genty on board with,
ATN. But what is ATN dead?
I don't know. Yeah, I guess they're maybe going with a 2-headed monster, maybe trade bait, whatever. But yeah, Genty's minus 185 to go 5th overall to the Jags.
That's what McShay has, and the fantasy stud Tank Bigsby.
I was about to say,
well.
So you're shipping ATN out? Are you worried that he gets hurt too much? I don't understand.
After that is where it becomes a maze, where we have everybody's a plus odds for everything. So number 6 overall, it's Kevin Banks plus 200, and everything's plus odds. Number 7, they got Membu plus odds.
That's the Jets.
Number 8, Jalen Walker plus 110. That's
Panthers.
Carolina. Number 9 is New Orleans, Mikael Williams plus 260. 10th overall is Warren plus 300. So this is where we kind of get the guessing games. But they think, and this is they being FanDuel, they think that the top 5 is pretty well set. They believe. They think it's Cam Warren, Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, Will Campbell, Ashton Genty. It's minus odds for all of them. Let's see if you parlay all of them together.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a pretty solid bet right there. Pretty much every draft expert.
No, you can't do it.
No,
it's not letting you do it.
Do you think Ashton Genty is worth a top 5 pick?
The dude's a stud.
I think he's a stud, but I don't know. Does Jacksonville have the infrastructure to make him good? He's going to need a line. He's going to need I don't know.
In the past, 6-7 years, the running backs being taken early has drastically declined because they figured that you got a 4, 5, 6 year career and then you're done. People have been picking up running backs on the free agent market.
That's kind of been the overarching theme is running backs are a dime a dozen. And then for every Jahmyr Gibbs that blows up at a first-round pick, you have Bucky Irving last year, taken in the 3rd round, and probably was a really good candidate for Rookie of the Year. Didn't start till halfway through the season. I guess it goes both ways. You could still find your starter in the 3rd or 4th round, but you could get bitten taking this guy top 5. He was a stud. He did produce, but he didn't look so good in the playoffs.
I did see this, and I don't know if this is going to be held against him or not. He got 374 carries last year. That's ridiculous. That's a huge workload. So I could see some NFL teams, and apparently not many because the Jags reportedly won him at 5. The Raiders reportedly won him at 6. But I want to go see who was the leader in carries last season in the 17-game NFL. Probably weren't too many had more than Genty did. And if you look, Saquon Barkley had 345. So he got more carries last year in college than the leading carrier got in the NFL last season. I'm telling you, there's going to be some people out there going to say he's damaged goods, he won't last long, and that's going to be the reason why they're not going to want to pick him.
Well, that's going to be the reason why Jacksonville picks him.
But in looking at the list, though, Saquon, Derrick Henry, I think Derrick Henry was a first-round pick.
Yeah, first-round pick.
Bijan definitely was. Jonathan Taylor was late first. Josh Jacobs was first. Najee Harris was first. But for every one of those, you have Kyron Williams. I don't even know if he was drafted.
Pollard for sure was late.
Late. Aaron Jones late.
For Kyron Williams.
So it's kind of a mixed bag. Chuba Hubbard. I think he might have been undrafted.
Yeah.
Chuba?
Yeah, Chuba. Chuba Hubbard.
It's a freaking gum.
We'll see. So, yeah, the draft is tomorrow. We're going to try to have as much live reaction and everything as we can.
Speaking of live reaction, not to cut you off, Casey, but the chat says, and this is from our, what number is he? Number 1 fan of the
Who is
live
it right
today.
now?
Murda.
Hey,
Number 1 fan.
Probably because you're on and he's just trash talking.
Come on down to NOLA Aaron Rodgers. I will provide the ayahuasca. Then he says, Abdul Carter, best player out of this entire draft.
Yeah,
and also move ATN to wide receiver.
I need the Murda mock draft.
I think that, let's do that. Let's have a guest column. Murda, I will make you a draft pick photo. Why don't we all do that? Nick, I know you're probably bored in Branson right now. Go ahead. We're going to mock our top 10, because I think after that's where it probably gets uninteresting.
I'm going to bring Murda here after practice tomorrow.
So we're going to do
take the easy road.
All of us are going to mock our top 10s and see who gets them right.
Look, I would be all for Aaron Rodgers to New Orleans if New Orleans, actually had a chance to compete. But all he's going to do is make you 7-10. What's the point of being 7-10?
Well, him combined with Cam Jordan, DeMario Davis, and who else do we got? We're going to be the oldest team in the history of American football.
Right. I mean, I have no doubt it's an upgrade to Carr, but Carr was 5-12. So it's an upgrade to what?
He'd have to sign tomorrow. Aaron Rodgers at Jazz Fest.
I'm here for it.
There's your circus entertainment right there. That dude at the Acura tent, that's going to be crazy.
We're going to try to do some draft stuff tomorrow to hype up everything that's going to be going down in Green Bay. So adios, y'all. Take care.
Performance Auto and Accessories in LaRose is your one-stop shop for everything automotive. From mechanical repairs and routine maintenance to custom truck lifts and accessories, our expert team does it all. Whether it's a new set of tires, a quality truck lift that maintains a smooth ride, or essential repairs, we've got you covered. Visit us today or call 985-798-7467 to transform your vehicle. Performance Auto and Accessories.